Hey everyone, Fail Strike here, and this is my 4th battle report, and this was taken a week and a half ago, so I might be hazy in the details when looking over the slides, but I'll try my best to explain and narrate what happens during this match. This time it's between his Dark Elves, Ken Leonard's Dark Elves, with a unit. He used the unit Brets, and he faced my Orcs and Goblins with I had some Ogre Kingdoms units, and this was a 2,000 point battle between me and him, and we're just continuing our journey into learning the Warhammer game. As you can see in the top picture, he has his Cauldron of Blood. He bought that model and started painting. He also got a Dark Eldar Archon to proxy or to use as a sorcerer for his army. Substitution for sorceress, because he likes the model. So let's get. This is just a shot of my Orc boys. I just running them a 22-man unit, +1 for adding on to the 22 guys. I have my Black Orc War Boss, and so that makes it a 23-man unit. 23 Orc unit, that is, and they have additional choppers and full command. I'm thinking of converting shields onto them. I do have some shields on some of the models, but a lot of them I just want to add shields because it helps them with the survivability factor, and that's what they need, I think, because they die in droves. And I was just talking to this guy. He doesn't like 8th edition because a lot of the times against armies, the troops just keep on dying in droves. So anyways, let's just move on. This is a look at Ken's deployment. He had 9 knights. I believe he put his lord in there. He has his Cauldron of Blood, his sorcerer, level 4, a unit of Corsairs with Lokir, Fellheart, and an assassin in it, but he forgot to use his assassin, unfortunately. The Hydra's there, and I don't know what items he had. He had some interesting items. I just forgot to ask him what they were and what happened with him. So yeah, that's that's my 2 ogres that I included. Even though that model on the top is a tyrant, I use them as I use these 2 as man-eaters, and I gave them the Swift Stride and Scouts rules, so that's why they're ahead right now into his deployment, near his deployment zone. This is my right flank. I brought my 2 Spider Rider units to redirect and just harass them, but this game I didn't really know what to do with them, because last game I wanted to use them against his archers if he bought them in his Bretonnian army, but he wants to use his Dark Elves now, so yeah, so they didn't really do much this game. There's 2 Stoutling bases, and I kind of did dioramas of Stoutlings. You might think that they're a bit different. There's only 1 Stoutling on each base, but they count as Stoutling bases because, I think they're Stoutling bases. There's a Sabertusk. I have my 35-man unit, Night Goblin unit of Night Goblins with a Fanatic in them and Netters in full command. That's the left side, and I had a Sabertusk starting on the left, another one, my Great Orc Shaman, my Giant, as I said, my 22-man unit of Orc boys, and with my Black Orc War Boss in that unit, my BSB, Night Goblin, regular Goblin BSB, and my 20-man unit of Goblins with Hand Whip and Shield. This is a shot of the middle of the field, just another look, and we start moving up. I move my Orc Great Shaman beside the house, my my saber tusks moved up. You can see the Warhammer 40k Chaos Space Marine Codex, which they were using in the game next to us. My giant and my orcs move up a bit, I believe. My goblins go into the forest, and the reason why I went first is because he was praying. He used his prayers for his knights and stuff. My goblins enter the forest, as you can see, as I said, and that's a stupidity forest, which doesn't really affect them because I have a reroll and they pass their test. My goblins, my 2 spider riders move up, as you can see, snotlings, and my other saber tusk. So that's another look at what it looks like on the left side. And I think actually he did go and he moved up a bit, but he didn't really do anything. So this is turn 2, I believe. I don't remember. But I moved my saber tusk, and my giant and my orc unit try to charge the Corsair unit, but fail. I moved, you've seen this is what that looks like. And my man-eaters moved to threaten the knights on the top there. There's another shot of them. On his turn, he charges my Night Goblin unit. I throw my Fanatic at him, and he does 4 wounds. And they don't save or reward save it, and I'm pretty happy about that. That's the best my Fanatics have done. And Fanatics I don't really like to rely on, but they are good in some good to, throw the opponent off. This is another shot of him doing his work, killing 4. And later on he runs into these guys, and I just read in the rules that you're supposed to put it 1 inch after. Excuse me, I'm quite tired. You're supposed to move him 1 inch away from the unit, from the other side, where the other side was, maybe in front of them, but I just didn't do that. After combat, after he charged in, sorry, some of these slides are out of sequence, but he charged him and slaughtered them mostly because of his hero and his +2 strength on the charge. He demolished them, ran them down. That's my reaction to it. I moved my Sotling so I can face his slide. My saber tusk to face his back, his rear, and the Goblin 4 spiders are there in front of them. The other spider rider units decided to go home and panicked off the board after that happened. So that's why it's not there. My Fanatic smashes one of my man-eaters in the face with that chain and ball, and I think he does a wound on this other man-eater later on in the game. And yet again, I didn't move it 1 inch away, so my fault. His Corsairs charge my orc unit, and his Hydra charges my saber tusk. That's another look at the board, where my goblins are content to stay in the forest. So that's another blurry picture of what's happening right now. I think he magicked my giant and did a wound. Just a note, the Corsair and Orc unit were both in the forest, but we didn't roll for stupidity. There's a lot of rules we skipped over. We didn't take terror tests or fear tests, and we should have, but in the game we forgot a lot. He forgot his assassin, and I forgot other things, so it didn't really matter. I beat him in combat. He killed 5 or 8 of my troops, but I killed a whole lot more, and he fled, and I failed to catch him. His knights face my goblins for some reason. Yeah, he wanted to charge them in the forest and maybe charge my orcs in the flank, I believe. My saber test charges him in the side, and he reforms because he wins combat. We didn't really do anything to each other. I think he may have done a wound. My Snotlings try to come into his side but fail their charge with a 3. My Maneater charges into his cauldron to tie them up. Would have been better if I had the 2 of them. My Orc Great Shaman does a wound to himself, and I think he loses a level or something. I don't remember. He just cast the spell on. My Goblins turn to face his right, so the next turn he could get a flank charge. But I could get a flank charge. That's if I hold with my saber test, but I don't think. My Battle Standard Bearer is just being lonely and sitting there. Maneater, another shot of my Maneater. His Sorcerer and his models look amazing. And stuff. Like the Dark Elder are great substitutions for some of the units in the Dark Elf book. Like the witches can be witches, and even the regular Dark Elder troops can be converted into executioners or something. Like the Dark Elder, like elite troops could be executioners, but yeah. Anyways, this is what happens later. I don't really. His Corsair unit ran off the board after we both tried to charge him. I don't know why I didn't reform my giant. I'm not sure what happened there, but his BSB or his standard for the Corsair unit fell off. He magics the hell out of me, and his Hydra does a lot of damage to my giant. I believe he charged in the side there, and I'm left with 1 wound. I forgot to roll for the giant's fall over because he lost combat, but don't think that would matter much. He did the spell for the Dark Elders where you land a template, or you had to take a strength or initiative test, and 10 or 12 my orcs failed, and my orc black box gained a wound, so that was pretty brutal. On the top right you can see that he's using a Mandrake for an assassin, which I think is really cool. His Mandrakes look awesome, and it's another unit you can use in there as a substitution for Dark Elves from the Dark Elves. So that was my battle report for number 4. I don't have any more slides, or I do, but it just kind of cut off after that. I forgot to add more in the presentation PPT X. So that's it for this one, and I'll see you guys in the next battle report, which will come sooner than later. Peace.